Well,
How's
hey,
it going,
Doug, you
everybody?
didn't say
DJ
anything.
K DuB Omaha, Wired Access Podcast with the All Access Granted.
I didn't want that to be the standard. I didn't want someone else in the room to set the standard. I always wanted to do that.
The journey to get there, I think, is something, that is amazing.
Let's get this podcast started.
That's right. It is DJ K DuB Omaha with Wired Access, All Access Granted, where I'm your host. And today I got a special co-host, my man, the myth, the legend, Eric Guerrero. Eric, welcome to the show.
Hi, man. It's a pleasure to be here, man. We're back at it again.
Now, we also have a special guest. I'll let him call him what he calls himself because I told him he's got one thing big on me. He'll kick my butt no matter what. I'm not afraid to say that. I'm not that guy.
Hey, man, I'm
on my
not
previous show, his name is Stuttering Steve.
No way. Stuttering Steve.
Welcome to the show, Houston Alexander, post a fight and ready to roll.
Hey, man, the last show we had done, I didn't realize I was stuttering so much. I think you were making me nervous sitting, with your legs out like the way they were the last time we were sitting next to each other. I was like, man, he has cute legs. He has cute legs.
Man,
He'll go off the chains.
Man, it's hot. Yeah.
He saw the ham hocks. He saw these big legs, under this moose. You know what I mean?
I was very intimidated, man. Very intimidated.
This guy.
This dude is not.
Now you guys got me driving, man. And this is how important this show was to me because, first off, congratulations on both of you guys being in the same studio because both of you guys together, one powerhouse. For real. That's crazy to see that, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, Houston. I appreciate it. Well, we're here to kind of bring out, there's two sides to every story. There's a side that me and Eric always try to push is what we see and what we do, right? And we're always trying to give everybody the right view of what we see. We don't sugarcoat shit. We don't do stuff like that. We tell it real. Of course, you got yourself who's at the age of 53 that's doing things that many at the age of 30 regret to do. And I think this is a good time for you, one, to talk about it because we both have interviewed you prior.
Right.
So we have that little knowledge. And if you've watched any of our episodes or all your clips, it's telling you kind of some of those pre-fight. Now we got the post-fight, but for you, it's not done. And for others, they think it should be done. So I think this is a good episode to really kind of allow that to express itself, especially with what everything you're feeling on. You're not done yet. Let's put that out there.
Yeah, man. And it's been crazy because I've been getting two responses. People are very happy that I have won my fight. Right. But, some people are sideshow hating. And when I say sideshow hating, they're like, you won, but you shouldn't be fighting at 53. And I'm like, first off, I'm probably in better shape than you are, couch potato.
Right.
All right.
Amen.
If you're sitting on the couch, watching other people do combat sports, you shouldn't be talking about combat sports. So, but I've been doing this for a long time, and I Dub, I believe, and E, I believe we talked about this before. If I would have gotten in the ring this time and would have got my ass kicked, guess what I would have did? I would have probably hung it up because I would have been like, you know what? Maybe it's time for me to hang it up. But Dub and E, you guys saw the last fight. So should I hang it up?
Man, listen, I'm going to say,
go ahead.
In terms of things hanging, at the end of the fight, you got the victory, but your lip was busted open and that was hanging. And that would have been enough for me to quit anything. So for you to want to keep fighting after that, just shows that your heart's in it, Well,
it's not even that because that's not the first time my lips been opened up. First of all, I got big lips. Okay, it's hard to not hit these lips right here. Okay, all right. Look, but let's keep it real. And with that being said, a friend of mine who passed away a couple of years ago, we would have this thing going back and forth with each other. He was big nose and I was big lips. Gotcha. And so at his funeral, me and some friends were sitting around looking at his funeral with him in the coffin. And I told my friends, like, look, I'm going to do it. And they're like, what are you going to do? I took this broken finger here and I booped my friend's big nose in his casket. and it was still soft. It was still soft. It wasn't in rigor mortis style. And so I think what happened was in this fight, there was karma. He had this guy hit me in my lips to fatten my lip even more because I did that to him in his grave. So that was karma for my friend.
Well, of course, with this fight, I mean, you win all 5 rounds of 3 minutes, and each round. Did you?
Well, it's 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes. 2 minutes each round.
Mad respect. 2 minutes. What was kind of your thoughts of going through that? Of course, many wanted that knockout, but I don't care what anybody says. It's not as easy as everybody thinks it is just because you're bare knuckle or just because 2 guys going at it. You both were trying to lay those haymakers, but you also have to have a strategy or else you can end up as you had the one knockdown, but you both knocked each other down. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was insane.
That was probably the game changer.
And I saw the knockdown. I think mine was more of a slip, and his was more of me hitting him in his head. So mine was more of a slip, but I think with him he really got rocked because I got up right away. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, you did get up faster that time. Yeah, you definitely got up faster, but I mean that you gave the people what they wanted to see was action, and I mean on your fight that was clearly the loudest the arena was. So you're still delivering, but I was gonna say, you mind if I just switch gears? No. I was just gonna say, the call out. Can we switch segments to the call out yet? Or do you want to still talk about the actual fight?
No, well, the call out. So are we talking about the call out with Jake?
Yeah. So I was gonna say, the call out with Jake or Logan Paul, and why them specifically?
Well, you know what? It's funny because I see even after the call out, I saw a lot of people. They've been trying to call those brothers out because those guys are the money makers on the internet. And let's keep it real. Obviously, I want to fight them guys because there's some financial gain from it. But when you're on platforms like that, especially this day and age, it's great. It would be great to be on that platform where you're getting that YouTube exposure, the internet exposure from those 2 guys. And as I explained it before, I thought those 2 guys were a joke at first, but Jake actually trains. His brother, they actually train. So they're really good boxers in the ring. So we saw Jake with a really good boxer, even when he got his jaw broke. But they're giving a lot of people opportunities, and I thought that was kind of cool. So why not me throw my hat in the ring for the opportunity to bring that back to where we're from? Bud fought Canelo. Having me fight Jake would be another way to bring the focus back to Omaha, and I think that would be kind of cool for all the fighters involved that's coming out of the city.
Well, and of course, from my side of it, I'm of course more of the sports enthusiast and like of that side. That's why I brought Eric on, because he of course understands the celebrity side and all that he deals with nightlife and being out amongst the people. And to me, the Jake Paul and Logan Paul to me was hard to understand from a person who just enjoys sports, because it was almost like I felt it was a slap in the face to you who do the job that you do to get prepared for your fight. But hearing the side that we don't see, right? Like only see the joking side out of it and seeing the real side. Was there ever a time when it came to that you more have hated the fact that maybe it was joking on the sports that you love to watch and the people that work their tail off to bring those sports up, whether it's boxing, MMA?
Well, yeah, Dub, you sound like a robot on this side. I can hear a question. I can hear your question because you sound like a robot. Do I sound like a robot on my end?
No,
it's got to be on your side, but it's all good. I was just saying from the
well,
sporting
let's do this. Let's try it. Now, can you repeat the question one more time?
From the sporting aspect, did you ever feel a disrespect from what they do socially to the work and hard work that you and boxers put into the sport that you guys love?
Well, at first when they were beating up basketball players or some of the fights did look rigged, at first, and I think when Jake fought Joshua, he really wanted to prove that he would actually try to box somebody that was real. So, but I think a lot of people who are in MMA or boxing thought they were disrespecting the sport, sport or sports. So, but I had to think about it. These guys are actually helping guys who are past their prime, or helping people who are still wanting to compete. So you got to respect that, and I respect what they're doing with boxing, or promoting themselves, or promoting anybody involved. So that's why I put my hat, or I got myself put in the ring, because I want an opportunity like that too. Who wouldn't want that opportunity?
I mean, like I said, I feel like they have more to risk than you. Do you think that they just see this as too dangerous, like to risk their brand, or why do you think that they're avoiding you?
I don't think they're avoiding me because I think they're probably evaluating the situation, because this week, I told myself I was going to put out something every week to lure those guys in to wanting to fight me, or even thinking about it, or even responding. So I think putting out something each week to call them, whether I don't know if Logan's going to do it, because he has a contract with WWE, but Jake
Okay.
would do it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna try, and even if I just get on the card, there might be an opportunity to do something later with those guys. So I just want the opportunity to deal with some internet giants like themselves. They've turned their product themselves into a product, and everyone wants to be a part of it. And obviously, including me, because the money's good and the exposure would be good for not just me. It would be individuals in my hometown area.
Putting other people in the car. Now, ideally, what would this fight look like? Would it be a boxing match? Would it be a bare knuckle match? Would it be MMA? What would it look like to you ideally?
I'm sure it would be boxing. I don't think that they want these right here. These are some big hands. So I don't think they would want just the bare knuckle. I think it would be boxing. And I have no problem with doing that, because I'm training in a great gym at B&B Sports Academy at Buzz Gym. There's nothing but killers there at that gym. So yeah, and obviously I'm going to be sparring with other gyms in the area, because you want to deal with different individuals. But I'm sure it would be a boxing match.
What does this look like amongst the people that you're amongst of in the B&B world, like Bud and all them? What do they think about you trying to continue on? Obviously, you've mentioned some people saying you should continue, and some people saying hang them up.
Well, and Bud obviously thinks I'm crazy, But I guess that's why I got loco written across my neck. But as long as I've taken care of myself, and as long as I know that Father Time is undefeated, I know when it would be time to hang it up. But right now, man, I'm feeling really good. My face, even after that war, my face is already healed up, and I'm back in the gym already. I was back in the gym the next day, even after my lip got messed up. But because that's what it takes. It takes that dedication to get back in the gym. So a lot of people are like I said, sideshow hating, want me to stop. But man, you know what? If my body's up for it, and I'm mentally up for it, why would you stop somebody from doing what they love doing? And to me, this is a hobby. It's a hobby. It's not even my main thing that I love doing, but I enjoy doing it. So why stop me from doing it?
It's a hell of a hobby, I'll tell you that right now. But let me speak for the haters then, and I'll say, so Jake's beaten former MMA stars, already, right? So what would make you different, Houston?
I'm more aggressive than the other guys, and plus I hit harder. And on top of that, I just think I'm more skilled than a lot of those guys. A lot of those guys who think they know how to strike, which is actually really boxing, in some ways. I'm a better boxer. I'm always a better boxer in MMA. So I know that I'm the better boxer in this situation.
Well, I mean, Logan has size and athleticism. How would you neutralize that?
Oh man, I'm very I'm very athletic. I'm probably a better fighter than I was 15 years ago, mentally and probably physically, because if you guys noticed in the last fight, when I sat down and after that minute of taking, catching your breath, I hopped right back up to the center of the ring. I was probably in the center of the ring before the ref and the other fighter was each round. That just goes to show you that conditioning really matters when you're dealing with any type of sport. And I think my conditioning was really, really up there at the time.
Of course, when you look at what you're doing, like how quick is a turnaround if you were to have this opportunity? What is the time change for you now compared to when you were younger? You said that you feel like you're in the best shape. Of course, we have better things like the cryotherapy. I tell people all the time, that will make you feel like you're 21 in a heartbeat.
Well, there's no that wouldn't be any type of problem with a turnaround, because guess what? I'm already in the gym, still doing the same things I've been doing before my other fight. So we wanted to keep the momentum just in case there was any opportunities given, and no matter whether it was Jake or anybody else. But I always try to stay ready. And with this, especially with this type of sport, you always got to be ready. You always got to have that edge. And I'm in the gym. I'm constantly learning, and I'm constantly healing the body and making sure that it's always ready. So, I'm ready. The turnaround is I could fight tomorrow if I had to.
Let's say you do. Let's say you get the fight. What kind of pay-per-view numbers do you think that this fight would realistically do?
You know what? I looked at it this way. This would be the ultimate Rocky story, and this is what I put anytime I post anything. It would be the ultimate Rocky story, because again, you got the younger man, and again, he would be supposedly the more athletic, and then you have the Rocky figure like myself, the Sylvester Stallone guy. So I think, me going into the fight, it would be that type of fight to where if promoted right, this could be a pretty good pay-per-view. Oh no, it doesn't even have to be a pay-per-view. Just show it on YouTube, and I think I get more of an interest than Tyson, because again, Tyson, everyone knew that Tyson was going to kill Jake, but Tyson didn't do what he was supposed to do, because I think something like that might have been tampered with. But with me, there's not going to be any tampering with me and this guy. So I think, I'm just ready. I'm just ready to fight anyone that has a name out there on the internet right now that will prove that I belong in the sport, even at this age.
Your ideal location, if you could do this, no restraints, nothing, where would you want to do this fight for you?
Man, realistically, it would be here in Omaha, Nebraska. We can pick any arena. Let's take it down to the old Quest building, because we still call it the Quest building downtown. And we could take it to the backyard. I don't care where we take it. We can do backyard pay-per-view or backyard YouTubing or YouTube.
Kimbo, right? In memory for Kimbo, backyard. R.I.P.
I'm sorry.
In memory of Kimbo. Come on now. R.I.P. Backyard. Let's go.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't care what we're doing, man. It would be realistically, it would be in this city, but wherever the terms may be, I'm there, man. That's it. I'm just there.
Yeah, I think you guys would sell out the CHI, the Quest Center 2.0. So what separates?
What? Hold on, guys. I think speaking into the mic, because you guys are breaking up right now, I think speaking into the mic would be better.
Okay. All right. So what separates a lifelong fighter from a celebrity boxer?
What was that again, E?
I said, what separates a lifelong fighter like yourself from a celebrity boxer?
Celebrity boxer? Well, I'm not for sure. I guess it all depends on how much time. It doesn't matter whether it's a celebrity boxer or not. On any given night, anybody has a puncher's chance. So I don't care if you and if you're a boxer, if you've been training for a significant amount of time, you're supposed to be the one that wins against the guy who's only been training for a couple of years. But everyone has that puncher's chance. So you put your money on the guy that's been fighting for a while. But you just it all depends on who's the more imposing figure, and on top of that, who you think is going to get there first. And I'm pretty fast for an old guy, so I might get there first.
When you look at Logan Paul, if that was the choice, what do you think would have to change in what you currently do? Is there anything particular that you think you would have to change in your game?
I think again, being a better boxer, because boxing there's an art to boxing, and people think that it's just punching people and in the body or punching people in the head. No, there's a sweet science to boxing. That's why they always say there's a sweet science to boxing, because there is, and you just gotta. I just want to get better at positioning and hitting, and I think I'm learning that at B&B, because even at my age, I'm still learning how to box properly.
Wow. So at this stage in your life, what would this fight mean to you personally if it happened?
It would be a personal accomplishment. Again, I think it would be a great cherry on top to the career I've had, which would, it was a lot of ups and a lot of downs, but to me, it would be a cherry on top, and it would be a great legacy ending to what I've been doing so far. But even if I did fight, one of those guys, and I still probably would end up doing it if I'm still in shape to do it. I think until somebody ragdolls me in the ring, I don't, I'm cool. I'm cool. I think I'll be just fine.
What has kept yourself to feel like that is fine? Because I'm sure when people hate on saying you should be done, is they don't want to see that part of Houston. They don't want to see the drag out. They want to see you ended at the ultimate high. Of course, you got role models around you that have ended their careers where they wanted to end it. What would make you want to end it where someone else gets to do it for you?
Oh man, what would make me want to end it? A significant amount of money. You pay, you pay me. You know what? And that, to me, if I even had the significant amount of money to help the people around me, that would be the ultimate goal for me. To have an amount of money to where I can help everybody around me, such as yourself. You guys are a powerhouse together. Why not have that extra money to do things for yourself to help you out? That could be an investment. That could have been an investment right there. So I would love to invest in people that I know are going to put in the hard work like myself. And so I think me getting the money that I know I deserve and helping other people, I've always helped people, man. And I think before I leave this earth, helping people is the goal for me to leave that type of legacy.
Oh, there's no doubt. And we've already seen you do that. I mean, your entire career and consistently, you get an award, you give it back to everybody that you can think of that's doing something positive for the community. So there's no doubt in our minds that if you did get this fight, that you would use those funds to continue to give back. Would you build like a gym like Bud has for B&B, for MMA? Would you build your own gym here in Omaha for future young up and coming MMA fighters?
You know what? We have a gym, and that's B&B. I think I would invest. I would invest in it more into that gym. That gym is in the heart of North Omaha, and when I go there and train, there you see so many kids. From the 12-year-old, the 15-year-old, the grown adults. You see so many people in there with a goal in mind to get better. And I think I would take. I wouldn't want to build a gym. A gym is harder than what people think. I think I want the convenience of going in and out. And I think investing in B&B, because I've seen the work they put down there, I think that would be something I would do. Invest in something that's already working for the community. That makes sense?
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. I agree. Just expand what's already working, and it doesn't get like a better club than that already. I've been there. I've seen you train. And I mean, also, how is that training with, just the entire community, because they have everything from kids there to adults and everybody on the career path. how is it for them getting to train side by side with you when they probably played your character as a video game, and here they get to train with you in B&B, you know?
You know, that's funny because, you know, a lot of kids, you know, they see me come in, but a lot of kids don't, you know who I am until they see me either on Instagram or they see me, you know, just like, you know, this past fight. You know, I had kids coming to me, it was like, oh man, I didn't know you fought. And now they go back and they use the internet to find out who I am. And then that's kind of cool because I don't go in there with the attitude like, okay, you should know who I am. You have to earn kids' respect. You have to earn adults' respect, and you have to earn people's respect. You don't go in any situation beating on your chest. Respect, you know, once you earned a 10-year-old's or 12-year-old's or whomever's respect, and then go back, you know, you let your word speak for itself. My word speak for itself, man. I don't need to tell everybody who I am.
Absolutely.
Of course, you look at the community that you're constantly putting back into. Why Omaha for you? Why does it stay Omaha? Of course, we know that you're from St. Louis. We know that you moved here a long time ago and you made this your home, but what's the continuous love for Omaha? What does it give back to you?
See, a lot of people, hell, they'll graduate from high school, graduate from college, and they'll leave. But I think my dedication to the area stems from me doing community service as a kid, me learning how to b-boy, do graffiti art, you know, me doing dumb stuff for the radio stations in town. Just did me planting a seed a long time ago in this community. I think, and it's hard to leave a community you've planted not just your seed, but a whole bunch of seeds for kids too. but the fact that that I've laid so many foundations in this area, man, it's just it's grown on me, and I just want to see it grow like it has been in the past couple of years. I want to see Omaha grow.
Amen. And I agree. I agree with what you said and everything that you said. As far as just switching gears real quick, Jake has been selective with his opponents. Do you think that you like disrupt the formula is why they're not reaching out to pick you?
I don't know. And again, I don't know if I'm disrupting the formula. I as I said earlier, this would be a great Rocky story for them to where it would be like Rocky Part 1 where Apollo picked this one guy, this nobody, and this nobody ended up being he didn't win, but he did earn the champ's respect to where he had to fight him again. So I think earning these people respect with the Rocky type story, I think that would be something that we can work from, having it be a Rocky type story.
You, of course, have worked your way from MMA to bare knuckle. How do you think all the communities will take this if you had to go a different route with Logan and it wasn't bare knuckle, it wasn't MMA? Would the boxing world, or would even whatever world he puts you in, would they accept Houston Alexander and who you are and what you do?
Of course, because that's what MMA is. Boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. Look, I know how to do it all. So, that's what MMA is. So if I decide to box, if I decide to wrestle this guy, or if I decide to do a jiu-jitsu tournament with this guy, it doesn't matter. I know I can switch up at any time because that's what MMA is, and that's what I do.
All right, let's say if you were to get the fight between either of them, who do you think you would knock out first, Jake or Logan Paul?
Logan, because he's a little lighter.
You said Logan because he's a little lighter?
Jake's a little heavier.
Okay, now make a round prediction for both fighters.
I don't know. You can't knock those two guys out in the first round because you want to drag it out a little bit. Just like in my last fight, it would have been cool to knock Brandon out in the first round or two, but was it more exciting that we dragged it out and you wouldn't, we were going back and forth with it, and it could have been anybody's fight. So I think and I think us going back and forth, Jake and I going back and forth, Logan and I going back and forth, that would really be kind of cool but you probably want to get that knockout in the third or fourth round or something like that. But having people having that anticipation, that's always a way fights are more exciting.
As far as the time for the rounds, would you want to stick to the 5 rounds, 2 minutes, or would you be open to whatever they decide on that?
Man, I'm boxing rules, man. I'm any rules that has anything to do with any mixed martial art, whether wrestling got 3-minute rounds. When you wrestle somebody, but boxing is literally 5 minutes, or it doesn't matter how many minutes. I'll be ready for it because I'll be in shape. I'll be in shape for the fight. But anytime I've come in at any fight, I've come in underweight. At this last fight I was in, I was 200 pounds, and our weight was 205. So don't matter what it is, man. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be in shape. I've never not made weight ever in my whole entire career. I've been in to situations where I've eaten before my weigh-in and still made weight.
We see fighters do crazy stuff, passing out after they hop out of the scale or whatever to make weight. We get it.
That's not me.
Let's say you get the fight, and this is what I want to know. And in the contract, and they pay you a considerably more amount of money to not knock him out. Would you still go by the contract, or would you knock him out still for the plot?
Come on, man. Don't let me down here. Don't let me down here.
Man, that'll be tough because if it's in the contract that you can't knock him out, you can lose your bread, man. They don't have to pay you because that's breach of contract. So let's establish it in the beginning. Hey, let's go out there and let's just go for it. You know what I'm saying? You got to establish that in the beginning, man. So I that's something I would want to ask. But I don't think I would want to go out there and be contracted not to knock somebody out.
I don't know. We gonna see you biting on the gloves, So it's one. Okay, if you could describe,
I'm not gonna bite on some gloves. I'm not gonna do that shit.
All right. If you could describe Jake Paul's fighting ability with one word, what would it be?
Extraordinary.
Extraordinary.
Because I've seen him train. He's actually trained with people, and he's actually brought people in to spar. So you know what? You just think about this. You got a guy who probably didn't know anything. He was probably an athlete in school, but probably didn't know anything about boxing. Actually making $100 million from boxing because he makes it look good. So guess what? Extraordinary.
Okay.
You of course have you have quite a few connections, and that's what life is about, is making the right connections. Do you have ways into that camp at all to where you could possibly get word if this is a possibility, or do you think this is going to be something that could take time for you to understand or hear what the response is?
I don't know, man. I do have a lot of people that people don't think I know in the industry that I probably can call and put the bug in and the guys here. But I think I want to do it generically. And when I say generically, I want the word of mouth to get to the guy. I want my work ethic towards posting stuff online, or people going, hey, this guy over here is kind of nudging at you. Why don't you address it? I want it to happen naturally. I want me not to have called somebody to get that. Obviously we can do that if we tried, but I want it to happen organically to where I'm calling this guy out and he gets the bug in his ear.
Yeah, no, that would be I mean, you're obviously putting it out there on the internet the right way, and that's the way that obviously the right growth is, right? You're like people don't understand it, and I know I talk to you even about the interviews that I get. Like, I want it to be natural. I could always go through a route, but I always want to try to make it as natural as possible, to where when we have these conversations, it's so natural. It's not like, let me go directly to a direct question, and I can feed off of what energy you're giving. And obviously that makes that fight just even more organic, and the powerhouse behind it is just, it's right there because it's right in front of you, instead of, well, let me go behind the back and try to get to the right person.
And even with all three of us, we've all been in the business for a while now, and we all know how to play off each other, and we pause on that one. but we all know the business, and we play off each other perfect. And again, we wanted to have things to happen organically. And I think the call out with him should happen organically with, your help, with you guys' help, other people's help who are interested. And again, it's not about the fight itself, because even if I don't fight Jake or Logan or anybody, because I think Rampage is calling people out about boxing as well.
Hey,
so I wouldn't mind boxing. I don't mind. Hey, I wouldn't mind boxing Rampage, and that would be a good one too.
that would be
So
crazy.
I think just Dynasty Combat Sports has been doing stuff for almost 20 years in this area, and I think they deserve to have some of the credit with helping some of these up and coming fighters, whether it be MMA, wrestling, or getting these kids' confidence up with wrestling in the ring in front of a lot of people. That was our overall goal for this last event.
And
Having these kids and that were undercards, having them see this big crowd in the background. I think we have 3,000, a little over 3,000 at this fight on a very cold Nebraska day. I think bringing that attention to this area is probably the most important thing for the up and coming fighters for me. Because again, I've had plenty of times where I've been in front of 30,000 people. I've been in front of 10 people before, but the kids that are coming up, they get to see through Dynasty Combat, whether I'm fighting for Jake or fighting anytime outside of there, we already have an established company here that can help them. So I'm trying to help out with them people too.
Oh, absolutely. Big shout out to Dynasty Combat Sports.
Yes, for sure.
And both of you guys did a good job of covering that. So that was cool too.
Hey, we always like to take it up a notch. We always can do better. We know that.
Right.
Of course, man, I tell people all the time, like, there's not many people that I would say face to face I would be afraid of. But you put you and Rampage in the same ring, I'm not the referee. I don't know about you, E, but I am not. You two in one ring, whatever it is.
Hey, man, I get amped up saying now. Everyone knows me, and everyone knows I like to joke, and everyone knows I like to smile all the time. But when I get in the ring, man, hey, it's a totally different thing, boy.
Hey, here's a fan of ours, good old Carver, one of my guys. Rampage versus Houston in Memorial Stadium. We couldn't even get Bud in Memorial Stadium. I mean, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
but we couldn't get Bud in Memorial Stadium because that would have been a good finish.
That would be crazy because everyone knows that we go at it pretty good. That would be a good one. But yeah, Rampage's been he's been kind of dipping his feet out there in the water to see who he would be able to box. So I wouldn't mind any of these guys, man, that has a name just like myself, because whether people like it or not, I do have some type of name out there in the industry, and people know that anytime I get in the ring, I'm giving 100%. So we don't care who it is. Bring it here, and we'll bring a name here, me up against a name, we'll fill the arena. Period.
That was my next question, was like, if not the Paul brothers, who's next? But Rampage Jackson would be a great
Do you have a connection?
A great opponent. He's been streaming a lot lately, live streaming. How do you feel about that? Would you ever live stream your life or live stream your training?
I saw that he had put it out there that he who should he fight? Who should he box? I wouldn't mind boxing Mr. Rampage. Man, we were cool. So hey, I don't think anything will be taken personal. But I wouldn't mind going up against him or any other guy that, like I said, that's been in combat sports and would love to do an expedition. So let's do it. We don't care. We can start with this show or any other show where we're talking about this, but let's bring it back to the area. Let's get everybody involved, from the podcasters to the radio stations to the everybody involved in an event. It was kind of, this last event was cool to me because we got everybody involved. Podcasters, radio stations, we got people, doing live feeds. It was great to see the Dynasty Combat Sports event do as well as it did, especially with me being a headliner, because it shows other organizations out there that this is a great market for MMA, boxing, or any other type of sporting event.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to go with that next. Is just, when you look at your community and the community that stands behind you, you, of course, had before the fight and even after the fight, a lot of shout outs. And what does all that mean to you with your legacy of who Houston Alexander is and the community that you have brought together of names of people who probably wouldn't even sit in the same room, but they all support Houston Alexander?
Man, that's important to me because it's all about unification of all the different entertainment entities around us. So whether it be sports, whether it be education, whether it be radio, podcast, it's great to unify the community, and it's great to see us all working as one. And I think with this last sporting event at the Rawson Arena, which is still Rawson Arena to me, but it's a Liberty First Arena.
Oh, yeah,
Liberty. That's what we called it. That's the nickname. But for it was great to see all the medias and entities involved and us moving forward, because it was something different in the air to me with this last show, and Dynasty saw it.
Eric, of course, you were there. Being in person, I, of course, just got done moving, had to work at 4 a.m. So excuses, I'm sorry. But I talked to Houston ahead of time. But thanks to
man,
Eric,
but I think you were more scared. I think you were more scared of your wife than you were than me. So you're allowed. Hey, you're allowed to have that, brother. You're allowed that.
Hey, 25 years ain't easy for the breezy. But anyways, Eric, you were in person. What was that like for you and see it in person? When was the last time you've seen Houston do what he do?
Well, I mean, in person, in terms of fighting, it's been quite a long time for Houston. But the last time that I was at that arena was watching Wayne Sullivan's fight. And Wayne had sold, like, I swear, 400 tickets himself just for people to come see him. So it was electrifying and everybody was on the same page. But your fight, I mean, I remember the moment everybody stood out of their seats with like the double knockdown, excuse me. The energy was equally there, even from the kids in the halftime show where little man comes walking out like Conor McGregor. He was ready, the little wrestling dude. It was all entertaining. I mean, I thought if I was a paying customer, I would have been satisfied with getting my money's worth that night for sure, 100%.
Yeah, there were a lot of people. There were a lot of different type of entities in the ring. You had the wrestling, you had kickboxing. You had the bare knuckle. You had MMA. It was a great night, man. It was a great night of fights at the arena.
And unlike like the WWE wrestling, like one of the Paul brothers, this was not scripted. There was no scripting that. There was no faking that. That was as real as it gets.
Exactly. That was the UFC's moniker back then, as real as it gets.
Well, one last question. I was just gonna say. So, do you think that this like influencer boxing is elevating combat sports, or do you think it's turning it more into like a reality TV series kind of?
I answered this before. I think honestly it's elevating it because it's giving, it's putting more eyes on the sport that people wouldn't normally see. The Jake brothers are what? Disney. They're products of Disney. So, they've grown their whole empire based off Disney. And you have those people who are growing up that's watched them who probably have gotten to a fight before that are now seeing guys that were like the Mike Tysons or the Tyrone Woodleys that those generations might have not seen. So I think they're bringing more attention to it, but you just got to use it the correct way. And I don't care who you are, you have to make sure you're in the ring prepared to do whatever combat sport you're in. If I go in there and I'm boxing with either Jake, Logan, or even Tyson, even if Tyson, you want to come out and you want to swing it a little bit, we can do that too. Us two old guys can go at it too. So hey, that's no problem with that either. We're calling out everybody. So I think that'd be great, man, to actually make any of that stuff happen, man. Be good for the sport.
So then
YouTube is the next Netflix.
Well, yeah, I mean it's like also the number 2 search engine in the world right now currently. But if Jake beats you convincingly, does that just end the influencers can't fight narrative? If that were to happen,
I'm not going to even put that out there, E. Jake is not going to beat me. We're not putting that out there, man. Nah, I'm not even putting that out there. I'm not even answering that question.
All right, well, here's a good one. What's next for Houston? Besides, obviously, we're trying to call some people out. We'll make sure we get that at the end, so we have great clips for that. But what's next for you? And then what's next for Dynasty? How did they feel this Bare Knuckles going for them? Do they see it headed in the right projection that you guys talked about pre-fight and post-fight?
Well, I think what's next for me, which is really important to me, is the Houston Alexander Foundation and the Culture Shock Tour, going into the schools across the country in some of the major cities in all the states across the country. That, to me, taking a school tour, and that's why I called it a tour, that far, or even across the waters. That's important to me. So that's next in trying to help build that up, because we've got over 20 years of laying foundation for the school tour. Fight wise, hey, I'm honestly ready to get back in the ring, and that might sound crazy after getting my lip split down to the white meat, but hey, man, if I'm in the gym and I'm training with some of the best, I just don't want to be just training for free. I enjoy getting ready for a fight, and I enjoy getting in there, putting it all on the line, and I enjoy people seeing that you can do this too. I don't know if you can be a guy been sitting on the couch for 10 years at 53 years old and can go into the ring and think you can fight. Understand one thing about myself. I've been active over the years. I've not taken a break and sat down on my hands and just not do anything. I've been actively fighting for several years, and I've not stopped. So that's one advantage I've had over any of these people that could possibly, or that are older, that can fight any of these internet giants at all. So I have that going for me right now, and all together, we want to be able to bring something back to Omaha, like Bud has done. We want to be able to involve everyone, and we want to be able to have this benefit the city in some type of way with the fighters. It all goes full circle 360 with the fighters at the end of the day. So that's how you sum that up.
Got anything else for Houston?
Not that I can think of. You answered all the questions that I could ask. Who else would be next? Who else? Any other call outs that you want to throw those little players out there?
Let's sum it up this way. And again, because I called DuB, I called DuB for this interview, and it's even better to have you on there, E, because again, you guys are great influencers on the internet. You guys are very active, and you guys stay active with your work. So I think having you get two guys in this fray of us doing this interview, especially the post-fight interview, it's real important that these people understand that you two or myself, we're not going to stop until we actually make a difference. And I don't think I want to stop until I know I've made a difference, whether it be in fighting or in life, or just in general being a good person. So in between the three of us, man, we are not quitters. We are entertainers, and we know what we seem to want out of life. Even though you got to move, or even though you got to switch companies and be your own media person, or me being the old guy fighting. We all know what we want, right? So hey, man, let's all do it together, and let's all unify this community, and then and bring some attention out there in the world to us.
No, I like it. I mean, that's kind of what it's funny that he says this, Eric. Me and Eric had a one-on-one right before Houston, and that was kind of one thing we talked about. We noticed there's a lot of people we always try to give shout outs to, like whether it's a DJ West, Chef West, and all he does, not just DJing, but with his food stuff, making sure that it's supported, making sure that people know, like, yeah, I might do food, but the people that really do food is him, Scotty Eats. You have Fulligan, you have a bunch of people that we have connections to one way or another, and then we're able to kind of put some things together. And of course, him, what I really liked about Eric, of course, he's seen what I've been doing with interviews. He told me about your interview with him, about what he was thinking and what he was doing, and the amount of work that this guy puts in on things. I just think it goes back to what you said, whether it's working in the ring or working on our craft of what we're doing out here to make sure that we're giving the best version, the best vision for people to lock in and go, man, these guys are trying to just move the sticks just a little bit more. Every interview, every conversation with people that are just like us trying to do the right thing. And so I appreciate one, I told you a long time ago, when I first met Houston, it was just at a random bar and the dude never shied away from a handshake or a hello, never once. Then I got to work with him in the studio. Of course he was on the AM, on the FM, I was on the AM. So he would always give me crap. And then I got to interview him on one of my best buddies podcasts, Long Bus Short Thoughts. Yeah, nice. My boy did his thing, and Houston's known that I wanted to interview, but I'm also that guy that's patient, right? Like there's things that tell you when times are right. And I feel like obviously the movement of what we're trying to do with letting people know that Omaha isn't just this Bammer ass city and Bammer ass state. Like there is things going on, but what are you going to do? Are you going to back it up? Are you going to get invested? I mean, I say it all the time. I'm a part of the Omaha Beef. Once again, StreamYard brought to them by them. Thank you, Omaha Beef.
No doubt.
Been around
no doubt.
26 years. Before the past 5 years with the new owner, they didn't have championships, and now they got championships, and people act like they don't know. That again is that liberty.
And that's crazy in itself. And shouts out to Hannah. She's blowing your balls up over there in at the stadium, right?
Yeah, I gotta throw her out there. She made sure to shout out on the Facebook on the live. She said, "Hey, K DuB in Houston."
That's funny, man. But hey, I think this would be a great way to end this interview, fellas. Bud Crawford, and this is the credit that I will give that young man, especially knowing him for a while. He's brought a lot of attention to this area. When I say area, Omaha, Nebraska specifically. What are we as podcasters, media people, radio people, fighters, entertainers, what are we going to do with that energy that he's put forth in this city? We have a great momentum to where, you got people on ESPN talking about Omaha. We got people across the seas doing their Bloody, they're coming from Bloody, England. They're all talking about Omaha, Nebraska. What are we going to do with that energy that Bud has happened to send our way? Let's go out there and use that energy, and let's spread it, because Bud set the seed. We got the entire world talking about Omaha because of Bud. So what are you going to do outside of the $900 million international airport that's coming in, all the construction that's going on to move our city forward? What are you going to do with that momentum that Bud has brought here? People, get to work. Fellas, let's get to work. That's it.
Well, we already know.
Yep.
Well, once again, I appreciate Houston Alexander. I appreciate Eric Guerrero and his shop also being the host of this podcast, letting us set back. Check him out. He owns Best Buds in La Vista. You're more than welcome to check him out. He also has Guerrero Media. And then, of course, Houston Alexander, as you guys know, he has the Houston Alexander Foundation, where he's supporting community. Don't be afraid to give back, give out. And like he said, show what this state and city means to you. If it means something, you're like and follow, share everything that we're doing. Why? Because it's free. We're not asking for money. It is free 99 and free 50 free. Once again, another Wired Access podcast. You can find this on Character Chronicles. I appreciate Adam Carricker and all they do at characterchronicles.com. This podcast
that's dope.
on his page. We are moving the sticks. I hope you're watching. I hope you're ready. Until next time, thanks again, Houston. We'll see you,
I appreciate it, fellas. Hey, thank you, guys.
It's the standard. We set the standard.